Hello and welcome to some more Star Citizen, this time with updates to Squadron 42 with its version of the monthly report. This will be a summary and highlights of that. The AI featured team finalised the implementation of non-player interactive scenes and are now working on the setup for scenes with player interaction. Ship AI implemented new pilot skill levels to vary the agility of enemy ships and determine how they balance self-preservation and aggression. Improvements were also made to how non-player traffic behaves around landing zones. They've been working with physics to start implementing a new 3D pathfinding algorithm that can utilise the information from the physics grid to plot a course with. They've also been fleshing out and implementing formation flying, so you can have AI or players or NPCs or whatever, all flying in formation with the player or an NPC leading that wing. They've been adjusting video comms with animation, lighting, camera positions, all that sort of stuff to make them feel as alive and look as good as possible. Work on the Vandal face rigs has begun in earnest again. They have new meshes and textures to experiment with and are currently reauthoring the whole facial expression set. Tech animation have been helping them to make sure that combat works correctly and as intended, NPCs are able to navigate environments, and props articulate as they should. They continued polishing characters, finishing touches went into the Vandal armor, and they're currently exploring Xi'an elements that might be in the game. Work continues on the material libraries, which affect all armor and outfits and will allow for further improvements to visual quality. In a similar vein, tools for the hair pipeline have also been built and tested to help artists make higher quality and different types of hair. The actor feature team continued their work on the next iteration of jumping. This time they concentrated on making jumping from heights look and feel more realistic by removing the flappy arms and the wavy arms. They have also been improving the way weapons are held when falling. They've implemented an anticipation animation based on velocity, which will improve the transition from falling to landing. They've also worked on takedowns, so that's literally coming up behind someone, killing them with a single hit, or stabbing them, or breaking their neck or whatever. They implemented some blockouts for both barehanded and knife takedowns when the victim is prone. They worked on general cinematic creation and undertook support code work to get motion capture scenes blending correctly. They've started a project to give better cinematic control over ships. They can now open full ships in the editors that they have and select any entity on them and then add it to the track view timeline and animate it. Previously to that, there'd be lots more steps and it would be a lot more work. They have been working on the break-free cinematic mode that lets players switch between the filmic cinematic bits in the game and the first-person viewpoints. Time was spent setting it up to work with briefings that the player receives from superior officers throughout the game. The mixture of first-person viewpoint and player character reaction affords opportunities to show little movements, and that would otherwise be lost if the scene was experienced entirely from a fixed perspective. The gameplay story team had a productive month and were able to implement 13 scenes to a high standard. They've also tested several scenes that take place on the bridge of the Idris, with characters interacting well with their seats and flight controls, and doing all the sort of stuff that you'd expect them to be doing, giving the sort of scene and the bridge a little bit more life. They have been implementing a physically based detail mapping technique for the organic shader that intelligently blends and scales micro details to match the overall macro surface textures. This allows for logical and varied details on organic assets with minimal artist setup. Extremes in brightness for video comms were fixed by a better HDR color reproduction as well. On the optimization front, they made 3 major improvements to the volumetric gas cloud tech, significantly more efficient brick culling for shadows via rasterization, resolution upscaling to save fill rate, and aggressive node pruning to save memory. The level design team made a lot of pipeline optimization to stream production of the required social AI behaviors, which involved forming a mini-team to tackle the mountain of usables required for that. These are vital in the implementation of crew schedules and behaviors that make the game's social spaces believable and realistic, basically. The art and design teams mapped out all space-based points of interest and action bubbles to ensure that they have beautiful and astronomically correct backgrounds. They also have a number of new senior hires at the company that should hopefully make a positive difference to their output in the coming months. But they do need, I think it was around 100-ish people to help fill the gaps. They are trying to gear up and get more done. And I think that they sort of like are estimating to have a good portion of those jobs filled in regards to their roadmap. So if they don't get another, 50 devs for whatever purposes, then that could slow down, I believe, could slow down the developments or delay stuff by a quarter or two or whatever. Narrative worked through an assortment of editorial selects for key campaign characters and progressed with key lore to help ground the fiction behind some of the latest cockpit work, as well as writing several set dressing documents to guide environmental storytelling. They constructed background displays for the Assidio station and branding and decal passes for the Archon station's interior. VFX worked on improvements to screen interference and added on-off sequences for comms calls. They blocked out some key destruction sequences and are continuing to flesh out environmental effects. Iteration on the Gas Cloud toolset continues, which will ensure the tools deliver everything required to flesh out related locations, such as the coil, such as the cool stuff we've seen in the vertical slice. And that was it for the Squadron 42 report this month, a little bit shorter than normal. Some of the information there was the same as the monthly report for the Persistent Universe and Star Citizen that we covered the other day, and I will put a link to that down below as well, so you can get a feel for all of the progress they've made across Star Citizen, and it is worth a watch. If you've got any questions or views and opinions or whatever, please chuck them in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you. Every month we have a ship giveaway on the channel for May 2019. It's for another Drake Corsair exploration ship, donated in the name of the People's Radio. They are a 24/7 radio station providing music in the Verse News and in lore commercials, and are operated by the People's Alliance of Levski. To be in for a chance of winning that ship, be subscribed to my YouTube channel and comment on any of my videos made during the month. Links to the People's Radio and more information on the giveaway in the description below. If you are looking for a gaming PC or to upgrade, then instead consider Shadow Cloud gaming PCs, which leverage your internet connection and a data center to turn any device, your old PC, a phone, a tablet, a laptop, whatever, into a powerful Windows 10 gaming environment. It's subscription-based, so won't break the bank, and is a fantastic alternative to buying your own PC. If you are looking for a VPN, then I use NordVPN as well. It's mega cheap, allows me to upload, play games, browse with more security and privacy than I would otherwise have. For both of those, links are below, and use the code BoredGamer to receive a discount on either. BoredGamer is supported by its community via Patreon, the YouTube join button, Subscribestar, Twitch, direct donations, people throwing ships at me. A massive thank you to everyone that goes that extra mile to support me. It genuinely does help. Just like everything else, links are below for people that would like to get involved with that as well. But if you want to give feedback, there are details there that you can get onto my Discord, discord.gg/BoredGamer, or contact@boredgamer.co.uk if you want to send me an email. Just get in contact, give me feedback. Whatever your thoughts, I'd love to hear from you.